Hi everyone. So today I'm just going to be teaching a nice gentle yoga class. It can be for anybody who is pre or postnatal, or maybe you're just having a rough morning or rough night, or you're just in a place where you want to wake up or kind of transition towards sleep in a more gentle way. It's going to be a quick class. I think sometimes the beauty of doing some slower, gentle yoga is that you're able to really tune into how you're feeling. And that's coming from somebody who I love powerful yoga, powerful breath, moving quickly, challenging myself and finding that limit. And oftentimes for us, it's easier to drop in when we're moving and we can get away from our thoughts. But I also think, again, slowing things down and being able to really stay in tune with our breath can also be a challenging way to try to remain focused and to really listen to what our body's telling us. We might not be feeling great. We might be feeling wonderful. We might be experiencing a lot of ranges of emotions in between. And this is a really great way to just get in touch with ourselves and with that. So the one thing I will mention is towards the end of class, while we're slowing down, I'm going to incorporate a few props. So I would always suggest, if you have a block, like I'm sitting on one now, grab that. I'm going to incorporate a few pillows into the practice. So these are just couch pillows, so anything will do, a pillow off of your bed. It's a great way to just be present in some of our poses and to take them in a bit more of a restorative way, or even incorporate some yin into our yoga flow. So today we're going to start in a seated position. So whether that's just seated on your mat or you're elevated on a block, again, like I am, I think it's nice to make sure that your knees are below your hips, or at least in a position where we're able to relax our legs, relax the hips, relax the knees down, and we're not holding them up with our tension. So take your hands in your lap. Maybe if they feel comfortable, they can be palms up or down on your thighs or on your knees. And just start to pay attention to your posture for a moment. So roll your shoulders up by your earlobes and then down your back. Have a nice long spine, so lift long through the crown of the head. And I even encourage you to close down your eyes. And just start by taking a few deep breaths here. And with every inhale, start to breathe all the way from your diaphragm, your belly. Feel your ribs and your chest and your heart expand and lift up towards the ceiling. The crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. Take a big deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale all of the air out. Good, let's take two more. Big deep inhale in. Get nice and tall. Open mouth, exhale out. Good, last one. Full deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale out. Good, if it's in your practice, you can seal your lips. Practice Ujjayi pranayama breathing, so it's that warming breath in and out. Just a slow and focused pace, one that we really do want to keep for our practice today, especially because it's going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more gentle. So we can really practice on taking the nice slow breath. And take a few more here. With every inhale, feel your posture getting a little bit taller, a little bit more confident. And with every exhale, keep that lift, but imagine the breath grounding down. Maybe even imagine just finding that confidence, the stature, the stillness, and the space. So take one more here together. And all the way out. Good. Open up your eyes if they were closed. I'm going to stay seated on my block. You can remove your block or pillow if you'd like to. We're going to start to add some movement here. So start by taking your left fingertips down to the ground. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Find that length, and then exhale, keeping your shoulders over your hips, just a gentle side bend over to your left. Think about rolling your top shoulder up and back, reaching long instead of crunching down, and maybe even turning your gaze up towards the ceiling. So just feeling that nice long stretch in the right side body. Good, inhale, come up through center. Right fingertips down, inhale, left fingertips up. And then exhale, gentle side bend over to the right. Same thing here, keeping shoulders stacked over your hips, rolling the top shoulder back, spinning your heart and chest up towards the ceiling, and maybe you start to gaze up at the ceiling. Good, inhale, come back through center. One more time on each side. Left fingertips down, inhale, right fingertips up. And exhale, up and over to the left. Inhale, back through center, right fingertips down, left up. And then up and over to your right. Good, inhale, come back through center. And just to open up our chest and our heart a little bit more and start to get into the shoulders. Inhale, both arms up. Clasp your fingers together and then palms forward. Just bring them to the nape of your neck. And some of us, depending on our shoulder flexibility, our elbows might be quite close together. Try your best to roll your shoulders back, really press your elbows back, get into a nice big opening in the chest. Take a big breath in, maybe gaze up at the ceiling. And then exhale, shoulders forward, elbows come almost to touch, if not touching. Press your back. Good, look down towards your belly button. We're gonna take that 3 more times. So inhale, elbows back, gaze up, heart and chest open. And then round your back, shoulders forward. Bring your elbows closer together, chin down. Good, 2 more. Inhale, full breath in. Exhale, really feel a stretch in the back of your spine. Good, 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back into a neutral spine. Release your hands. Officially come off of your block or your pillow if you're on one, and we'll meet in a tabletop position, so on hands and knees. So coming into your tabletop, just make sure that your hips are over your knees, your shoulders are over your wrists, and then you spread your fingers so wide that you can feel the webbing touch. Find some engagement in your elbows, and then just start to take some organic movements here. That might mean wagging your tail from side to side, rolling out your neck. It could mean coming into a quick child's pose, so big toes to touch, knees wide, sit your hips back over your heels. You can take your forehead all the way down to the ground. You can also just take big, wide circles with your hips. It's just to kind of explore, wake up, or just settle down into your breath. So take one more breath here. Just exploring your breath in your body. And then come back into that neutral spine again. And when we're here in a neutral spine, try your best not to drop the belly down, sinking into our shoulders and into our low back. It's going to cause a lot of stress on our joints. So instead, press your back up towards the ceiling, engage your core. You can find a little bit of rounding here. Take a nice big breath in, and we'll come into our cat-cows. Good. So on your exhale, good, belly down, gaze forward. Take a big breath in. And then on your full exhale, round your back up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin in your pelvis. Push your back up towards the ceiling. Good, we're gonna take 4 more. Inhale, belly down. Open up your heart and chest, gaze forward. And then exhale, curl everything in. And really engage your core here. Good. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, big breath out. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. We're just going to wake up the core a little bit, nice and gentle. Start to put the weight into your left hand. Inhale, spin your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Open up your heart and chest. And then exhale, scoop your right arm underneath and just hover it above the ground. So again, we're engaging our core, almost like thread the needle. Gaze towards your left. And then inhale, reach back up with your right fingertips. 2 more times. Exhale, scoop your right arm under, hover it an inch or 2 above the ground. And then inhale, back up. Last one, exhale. Inhale, reach all the way back up with your right fingertips. And then exhale, left hand meets the right hand all the way down at the ground. Now press that weight back into your right hand. Inhale, spin left fingertips up. Same thing here. Exhale, left hand underneath the right. You can bend into the right elbow just a little bit. Good, 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your left fingertips up. And then exhale, come back into your tabletop. Nice and planted. Good. Tuck your toes back behind you if you haven't already. Inhale, press into both hands. Lift up your knees and straighten your legs. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. So if you're like me and you like a little bit of room for your body and for your belly, you can take a position as wide as your mat. So really take up the length of your mat, spread your fingers wide, hips up, legs are straight and strong. Start to tuck your chin. Let your ears come towards your biceps. And maybe take some organic movements here as well, bending into one knee at a time or both knees. Again, keep pressing your hips high. Your chest is melting towards the top of your legs. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, look forward towards your fingertips. Exhale, walk your feet towards your hands, towards the top of the mat, and come back into a forward fold. So again, I'm going to stay nice and wide. Your feet could be touching, big toes to touch, separation in the heels, whatever feels good for you. Keep a generous bend in your knees here while we take a forward fold. Again, we're just here, nice gentle flow. It's all about trying to get the weight of your head forward so that your spine can get nice and long. So one more breath in here. One more breath out. And then inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Take your arms all the way up. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, take your arms all the way down to your sides. Good. And as you're standing in front of your mat, we're gonna take the same motions that we took while seated. So left fingertips down, inhale, lift your right arm up, and then up and over, just a nice side bend. Your left arm can hang, it can touch your leg, or you can take more of a supported position where it's on your hip. Good, inhale, come back to center. Right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Same motion on this side. Good, we're gonna take that one more time, both sides. Inhale, right fingertips up. Exhale, up and over to the left. Staying nice and tall, not thinking about crunching down too much. Inhale, back through center. Left fingertips up and over. Good, come back to center. Same thing here, nice gentle, easy bend in your knees. Inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, interlace your hands at the nape of your neck. Inhale, elbows back, gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, round everything forward, elbows in. Good, one more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl everything back in. Good. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Lift both arms up. Take a wide stance with your feet or keep them touching. Big inhale. And then exhale, dive all the way back down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Arms and hands can come to your shins, your ankles, maybe your knees. Nice flat back. Engage your core. Shoulders away from your ears. Full breath in. And then exhale, forward fold. Take your hands back down to the ground. Come into a tabletop position. And again, we're keeping it really gentle today. So we're gonna take one more cat-cow for our vinyasa flow. Take an inhale, belly down, gaze forward. Exhale, curl everything into your cat pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time. Keep your breath moving. We're gonna take that one more time, one breath, one movement, and add a little bit of stability and core work at the end. So when ready, inhale, look forward. Exhale, take your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat, however you can get there. Take a nice wide stance or hips width distance apart. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, come down into your forward fold. Tuck your chin, let the crown of the head come all the way down. Technically, the weight is in your toes. Take a little bit of a bend in both of your knees. You can even sway side to side if that feels good. Awesome, and then inhale, slow rise all the way up. Just one time on both sides now. Left fingertips down, right fingertips up, inhale. Exhale, up and over. Good, inhale, come back to center. Right fingertips down, left up, as we stretch to our right. Good, inhale, come back through center, both arms up this time. Interlace your hands, take a bend in your knees, elbows out. Inhale, really puff your heart and chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, curl everything back in. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Both arms come up. And then exhale, come all the way back down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back, hands come to your shins or knees. Shoulders pull away from your ears, crown of the head forward. Full deep breath in. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, come down into your tabletop. Before we move on, we'll take our cat-cow. So inhale, belly down. Really actively pull your shoulders apart and press them back. And then exhale, round your back up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin and pelvis. Good. And then come back into your neutral spine. A few different variations here, but we're gonna take some side plank motions. I'm gonna stay down on my knees for modification. So what I'd like for you to start to do is extend your right leg back. And then seal the right heel down, keeping your right knee down on the ground like a little bit of a kickstand. Start to open up your hips to the right. Pressing into your left hand, you can inhale, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. If this feels like a lot for you, or this is a good place to kind of be, you can practice gazing up towards the ceiling. If you'd like to move a little further, you can start to lift your right leg up. Flex the right foot, actively press your heel back. You might even want to reach your right arm over the body. One more modification that you can do is start to bend the right knee and clasp the right ankle. This is a big stretch in the front of your body. It's a big stretch for your quad. Keep opening up. Full shoulders, maybe you gaze up at the ceiling. And just like we came into it, keep the breath moving, release and extend the right leg, right arm comes up, and then on your exhale, come all the way back into your tabletop position. Take any last movements you need here. Full breath in, full breath out. And we'll take it on the other side. Actively press into your right hand. Extend the left leg long. Seal the left heel down. Open up your hips to the left. Actively press into the right hand. Lift your left arm up. Your gaze can be to the side or all the way up to the ceiling. You can stay here, or if you'd like to, lift the left leg up. Flex your left foot. Press the heel back. You can always reach the left arm forward. If you'd like to take it a step further, you can bend the left knee, clasp your hand to your ankle, press the heel back, open up your shoulders, take a big breath in, and just as slowly as you came into the pose, release the foot, extend the leg, and on your exhale, come back into a tabletop position. Awesome job. Take a big deep inhale, big deep exhale. On your next inhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, exhale, downward facing dog. Always welcome to take those organic movements. We're gonna move into our flow before we take it back down to the mat. So when you're ready, on an inhale, lift your right leg high, and then exhale, bend your right knee and step your right foot forward to the top of your mat. Have a nice wide stance here. Start to seal your left heel down. We're gonna come into warrior one. Bend your right knee so that it's stacked over your ankle. You're on two separate train tracks here. And then inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. For a moment, take your hands down to your hips. Actively pull the right hip back and press your left hip forward. Keep bending into the right knee. Good. Inhale, both arms back up. And then exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, Arms down. Maybe your gaze comes up. Breathing here. And then exhale, we'll come into humble warrior. You might, like me, just want to lean forward a little bit. If you can, imagine or take your shoulder all the way down to the inside of the knee. Tuck your chin wherever you are. Lean forward with the crown of your head. Big breath in. And then exhale. Take your hands down to the ground. Parallel your feet over to the left side of your mat. Come into a wide leg forward fold here. So here, just for a moment, pull the weight into your toes. Crown of the head comes down. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. Good. Bend your knees slightly. Inhale, come all the way up into a star pose. And then toes out, heels in. Bend your knees, sit down, goddess pose. Hands can come to your heart center. Good. We're going to take 3 pulses here. Inhale, stand all the way back up. Exhale, pulse back into goddess pose. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 1 now to the back of your mat. Sometimes there's no graceful way to do this. Just open up your hips to the front. Keep pointing your left toes forward. Bend into the left knee. Stay on your 2 separate train tracks. Your right heel is down. Take your hands to your hips. Actively draw the left hip back while pressing your right hip forward. Inhale, both arms up. Take a nice deep breath in. And then take your hands to your low back. Good. Inhale, knuckles down, arms are straight. Maybe you gaze up at the ceiling. And then exhale, humble warrior. So I'm just going to lean forward slightly. You might want to practice taking your shoulder all the way to the inside of your knee and tucking your chin. Good. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Release your hands. Good, and then we're gonna come back the way we came. So start to spin back out. Keep your legs separated, wide leg forward fold. Inhale, come all the way back up to your star pose. Take your hands to your hips. Step your right foot to meet your left. And then quarter turn back to the front. Good. Take a big breath in with both arms up. And then exhale, dive down into your forward fold. And come all the way back out into your tabletop position. We're going to take an inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, neutral spine. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to take that starting on the left side now. Just one more time through. Nice and slow. So inhale. This time lift your left leg high. And then exhale. Bend your left knee. Step it forward. Seal the right heel down, bend into the left knee, both arms up. So you're here in your warrior 1 again. Full breath in, and on your exhale, hands can come down to your lower back. Inhale, heart and chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, dive on forward. Good. Full breath in. And then exhale, release your hands, quarter turn to your right. So we're here in a wide leg forward fold. And then when ready, inhale, come all the way up to standing. Toes out, heels in. And then bend into your knees. Hands can come down, coming into our goddess pose. 2 more times here. Inhale, pulse up. Exhale, pulse down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. And then come back into your warrior one at the back of the mat. So your right toes are now forward. Bend into your right knee. Inhale, both arms up. And on your exhale, hands come to interlace at your low back. Inhale, gaze up. And then exhale, dive on down, humble warrior. Full deep breath in. And then exhale, release your hands. Spin towards your left. Wide leg forward fold just for a moment. And then inhale, come all the way up, star pose. Hands come down to your hips, bend your knees. Step your left foot to meet your right. Quarter turn towards the front of your mat. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way back down. And then crawl back out into your tabletop position. Last time we're here. Take an inhale, belly down, gaze forward. Exhale, cat pose. And then just to rest and recollect our breath. Big toes to touch, knees wide, hips on our heels, coming into child's pose. Arms are out nice and long. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat. I'm going to stay lifted onto my forearms. It's all about really trying to press your hips back, getting your spine nice and long. Wherever you are, tuck your chin, let the crown of the head fall down. And I'm just going to count for 2 deep breaths here. Awesome. Start to slowly come back towards center. Curl your hands back towards your knees. And then come into a seated position on your mat. So we're going to start to incorporate some of the props here. And we're going to take a nice butterfly stretch. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. And it's all about finding a nice stretch in our hips here. So we can consider sometimes when we use different props to hold us up that we're taking more of a restorative or resting approach to our yoga. But I'd like to just talk very briefly about yin yoga. Oftentimes, what we were just doing was sort of that more fiery or active yoga, that yang yoga, where we're using heat because we're using our muscles to hold ourselves up and to come into the stretch. What I'd like to incorporate here when we use some of these props, we're no longer using our muscles to hold ourselves up into the stretch. So we're able to get into some of the more plastic parts of our body, like our bones, and even get into some of the deeper parts, like our fascia and some of our connective tissue. So if you have some pillows and you have a block, you can come into your butterfly stretch where you rest your forehead down onto the block and you're just letting gravity do the work for you. So I'm going to rest my head forward and we won't be here for long. We'll just be here for 3 deep breaths. And again, try not to actively pull yourself forward or hold yourself up. Just release down into this pose, letting your hips feel heavy. Stay here as long as you need. Good. Slowly come back out of this pose, and keeping the same props if you can, extend your legs out long into a straddle pose. So we're taking a wide leg forward fold in a seated position. I'm gonna keep my pillows and my blocks stacked, and you can always find a deeper stretcher. You might remove a block or pillow. You might put the block on a lower or a mid level to fit your needs. But try to keep your knees and your toes pointed up. But same sort of motion here. Start to lean forward. Maybe take your forehead down to your block or pillow. You can rest your hands wherever they feel comfortable. But again, just letting gravity do the work here. And you might practice taking some of these poses for an extended period of time, even as much as 2 to 5 minutes. And when you're in this pose, if you think you can remove or get even deeper into the pose, I encourage you to do that. So we're going to take 3 more breaths here. Really good. Slowly start to come back up and out. And we're going to gently make our way into what is a traditional yin yoga pose, which is deer. So take pillows if you have them, and you don't have to have any of these props to practice these poses, but collect your legs back together, bring your knees together, and just bring them over to the side. Tuck your ankles back. And so I'm facing my right hand side right now, and I have the pillows either collected close towards my hip or out a little bit. You might have to adjust based on how your body is positioned and built. Take your hands to either side of the pillow. 2 options here. This is just a gentle twist, a way to release any toxins, start to settle down, just feel the benefits of a twist. You can take a more gentle approach like I'm going to and settle down where you're facing the same side that your knees are pointed. If you want to take an even deeper twist and even get into your shoulders and your chest, you can twist, turn down towards the pillows, and then turn so that your right ear, or the same ear that's on the side of your knees, is all the way down to the ground and you're facing the opposite direction. So either way, start to come down onto the pillows or all the way down to the ground into your twist. Keeping your arms down, I'm going to come onto my forearms, but you might be all the way down onto the ground or your pillows. You can gaze to the side or gaze down, and we're just going to take a few breaths here. Again, try not to hold yourself up. Take a few deep breaths. Take one more here. Good. And then gently start to come all the way back up, and we'll take it on the other side. So I'm just going to switch my knees and now face the back of the mat. So switching my pillows now to the opposite side. And again, hugging your heels close, knees start to come together, arms on either side of your mat or the pillows. And then again, You might want to stay gazing the same side or down, or you might like to challenge yourself by facing in the opposite direction of your knees, feeling into that twist. So start to come down, release into the twist. And again, really feel your body supported on the mat or on the pillows. Try to let gravity do the work for you. 3 deep breaths here. Good work. Really slowly come all the way back up. Remove the pillows off to the side, but not too far. And then come all the way down onto your back. We're gonna end with 2 poses here, and one of them is going to be supported bridge pose. So take your pillow again, or your block. I'm gonna take my block. Come all the way down onto your back. And then take your block to a low standard or a pillow. Just lift your hips up gently and rest your hips, or where your sacrum is, which is sort of that small of your back, that little triangle. So the block isn't fully on your butt and it's not up onto your spine either. Keep your knees bent. You can always knock your knees in towards one another, or just keep them facing up towards the ceiling. Arms down by your sides. 3 really deep breaths here. Try to release your hips onto your block. Oftentimes when I'm really tight, my sacrum or my hips might pop and release. That's okay. A lot of times we're carrying a ton of tension in our lower back and in our hips. So just breathe through that release and that opening. 2 more deep breaths here. Last one. Really good. Nice and slow, press into your feet, lift your hips up, release the block, come all the way down. And you might like to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, just releasing, again, any tension that's there. Good. And then a favorite to end with, take your knees back in towards center. We're end with happy baby. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Extend the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can grab behind your knees. Take them wide, press them down to the ground. If it feels comfortable, you can grab the inside or outside arches of your feet. Actively, whether your hands are by your knees or your feet, actively pulling down, but also pressing up with your legs. So you're feeling tension while you stretch. Good, one last breath here. Full deep breath in. And all the way out. Good. And now release whatever pose. And then come all the way down into a pose of your choice. So you might like to take all of your limbs out long into your Shavasana. You might like to take a fetal position where your knees are bent and you're laying on your side, or it might feel comfortable like I'm going to do. I'm going to come all the way back up into a nice seated position on my mat. So we'll just end here with a few more rounds of breath. You're always welcome to stay in whatever position you need to finish out your practice. But it's important to just find this moment at the end of practice to reconnect back with your breath, to honor the fact that you took time out for yourself today for a little bit of self-care and a check-in. So again, wherever you are, Let's take 3 rounds of breath together. So full deep breath in, fill all the way up through your nose. Open mouth, exhale out. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. I hope you were able to find some peace and some focus in your practice today. And just think about maybe something that you learned or the space that you created in your body, taking that into your life once you step off of your mat. So enjoy the rest of your day or have a wonderful sleep, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.